This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life. Well, hello, I'm Frank, and it's Wednesday again, so this is Around Kansas. Story about people, places, and things that make Kansas a great place to live, work, and play. So if you're going to travel the country this year, plan on stopping in Kansas, because you're going to hear stories on this program about interesting places to stop. In fact, I have 3 of them here in front of me, and I'll tell you about that in a couple of minutes. So, good grief, here we are in the middle of January already, and the only other holiday coming up in the near future, of course, is Valentine's Day. Yay! But that's next month in February, so we'll tell some stories once we get closer to there. I don't know. I was kind of amused. I do a radio show on Ren Radio, which is an internet radio station playing the oldies of the 50s and the 60s. And in the studio, we have this Farmer's Almanac for city people. And it's got some interesting stories. And I was kind of thumbing through it. And I found an article on stagecoach etiquette. Yes, it was written by a newspaper in Omaha, Nebraska in 1870, and it was do's and don'ts, proper etiquette on a stagecoach ride. And, pretty much it was similar to riding on an airplane today, except that it suggested that you take 2 blankets with you because you'll need them. Except I would think in the summer you really wouldn't. So this must have been written as it was getting into the fall and winter months. And said, wash your feet before you go, which I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense too, because if you kick off your boots, you got other people in the stagecoach with you. Said the best place to sit is under the driver. And that means that you're sitting backwards, but you don't have the rocking motion, which is what stagecoaches tended to do back then. And said, don't be cocking your gun frequently, because accidents do happen. And you must know that there were a lot of murders on the road during the stagecoach days. And said, don't grease your hair, because there's a lot of dust, and by the end of the trip, you may have a potato garden in your head. And said at the stage stops, don't gripe about the food. It's the best food they could get when they could get it. So there you go. Anyway, the stagecoach etiquette, I found it kind of amusing. Okay, today we've got some really good stories. We're going to talk about turkey season. We kind of touched that in the last program, but this again goes into a little more depth on that. So turkey season is it. And then a story out of True West and about Abilene being chosen as one of the top 10 Wild West towns in the country. And believe me, if you're going to be traveling around Kansas this year, be sure to go see that. And then we're going to talk about being outside, and especially the Canopolis trails. There are a lot of trails in the state of Kansas, and they tend to be very, very different. So anyway, stay tuned. We're going to have some great stories today. Buffalo Bill Cody earned his legendary title in Oakley. Bring the family and come celebrate Oakley's pioneering history and unique geography at 2 sites, the Buffalo Bill Cultural Center and the Fick Fossil Museum. Cody's statue marks his achievements and welcomes visitors to the Cultural Center. The Fick Fossil Museum houses world-class fossils and artifacts. You'll find Oakley at the hub of U.S. Highways 83 and 40 and I-70. Stop for the legend. Stay for the day. Discover Oakley.